Uh, hello. Okay, give me a minute. Let me get up here and walk in the other room, and I will talk to y'all for a moment. If we're even live, if this is even working, it's hard to tell. Oh, here, let me use one of these little filters. At least it'll give you something to look at. Let me see here. Where's the bubbles? Bubbles. No, that'll work. Okay. So, you can hear me. Thank you, Booty. Oh, good. You guys are here. So, this is just one of those little mobile update streams that I do sometimes. Okay. Just to let you know what's happening. Now, I'm pretty tired because I was laying down. Did you see YouTube auto response to my retweet? No, Kay, but we need to get on Team YouTube real hard because Mr. JLR thinks that he is going to dox me. Now, the thing is, he's just as incompetent as he's ever been. What he did was he PayPal'd me $1, okay? And he tried to put an address in the PayPal. Because what he's trying to do, right, is he's sitting there and he's sitting in his pee pants and he's trembling and shaking and he's pissed and he's angry due to the fact that he was exposed. And he wants to intimidate me. So, oh, thank goodness. He wants to intimidate me. So what he's doing is, will you stop texting me? Man, my freaking kids. I just told her everything's cool, and now she's like, bing, 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 bing. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. But anyway, so he's sitting there in his pee pants, and he's all pissed off and mad, and he doesn't know what to do. So, of course, he's trying to dox me. Now, he should probably, know because Betty and Molly and Dolly and all of them have been, trying to dox me as hard as they can. And they pull some address that I've never even lived at. And listen to this. Listen to the street that it's on because it's prophetic. Church Street. Yes. So he sends me an address and something like I think what he was trying to do was use my ex-wife's name and say, "Hey, ex-wife, we'd love to interview you," and then he puts an address in there, and or something or other. Okay, so what he's trying to do, just to give you a context, is put this address. He's trying to basically he's pulling a Betty. Okay, remember when Betty called nonsense on the phone, right? Well, he can't call me. He can't dox me. So he goes to my PayPal. He's so desperate that he has to go to my PayPal. And I am actually really happy that he did that because not only have I already reported him to PayPal, but I am going in the morning to be working on a form to give back to PayPal because I don't know if JLR knows this or not, but you can't use PayPal to try to dox people, JLR. You can't, you could actually lose your PayPal privileges by doing that. Now, on top of the fact that it's like the dumbest thing these people do, these people are out of their fucking minds. If you were JLR and you have all of these crazy fucking videos of yourself that these platforms have no clue about, why in the fuck, after I show, oh, it's more documentation. In fact, it's everything I need. I mean, this motherfucker just puts it all in my hands. And you wait and see, because after he gets banned from the different platforms he's going to get banned from, he's going to sit and cry and whine and throw a fit, right? He's going to cry and he's going to whine and he's going to throw a fit about how unfair it is and how he did nothing wrong and yada fucking yada, you know? But you see, they don't, what they do is they have been lying on the internet for so long that, again, I had to say this when Betty talked shit on me. I had to say this when Molly tried to play this game. And I don't know if one of my mods will throw this in Discord or not. But I guess I'll just say it again. You'll never, ever dox me and threaten me and come at me more than when I debunked QAnon. You will never do it more than when I debunked Pizzagate. These motherfuckers have dug through every day of my life. And that's why there's nothing there to dox, bro. Like JLR, you eventually have to admit to yourself that you will meet the wrong one. And I may not be the wrong one when it comes to your investigations, because I'm not. I may not be the wrong one when it comes to many other things, but I'll tell you what I am the wrong one for. YouTube, PayPal, Twitter, Patreon. I'm the wrong one, bro, because I have been on these platforms. I always have had a good standing on all of these platforms. I will always have a good standing on these platforms. And I know how to do it. I know how to communicate. I know how to get it to them. And you just watched your friend Molly go down, okay? You got Betty shaking so bad she's creating kick platforms before she's even banned, you know? And in reality, I don't even care to get Betty banned, you know? She seems like she's scared enough to where she's just chilling doing her thing. If Betty sits there and reacts to corp shit and stops fucking with people, she can stay on the platform forever. But you know what, JLR? You will dox people, buddy. You will. If I don't, will do, Kay. And I'll take a look sometime soon, I promise you. I'll probably be asleep tonight, though, because I already took my medications. And they don't, like, make me sleep, but they do make me groggy. But here's the point, JLR. Like I was saying, you know, I am going to make sure that Team YouTube has everything about you. And that mostly is instigated by what you did last night, okay? You lied to those people. You know you did. You know you did. I don't know if you're out of your mind or I don't know what, but you think you're going to intimidate me, right? Oh, I'm going to intimidate this guy. I already know what you do when someone comes up to you. I already know what you do, right? You fold like a fucking lawn chair. So what am I scared of? What am I supposed to be scared of? Right? But you're trying. And you know what that tells me? That tells me that you have to be reported. And you guys always fail the test, JLR. People like you always fail the test. I would like to be able to criticize you and you be able to respond in a normal way. Why don't you respond to what I said on my fucking channel, buddy? Why don't you respond to the evidence that I put out, right? Oh, no, you can't do that, right? So you think you're going to try to dig in on me and dox me and stuff. You got the wrong address, bro. You got the wrong address. You guys are so bad at this. It's hilarious. But, you know, in the end, what does this tell me? That if I don't take this straight to Team YouTube, straight to Twitter, and to PayPal, and if I don't make sure that I push it for as long as it takes, which it may even take a month, I have a feeling it won't after your little message on PayPal, but if I don't press it through, it's not going to do shit to me. What are you going to do? You're going to lie about me on the internet? Yeah, I got a lot of people that do that to me. What you're going to do is end up doxing and harming someone that's innocent. That's what you're going to do. You're going to hurt somebody. You really are. Okay, I ignore you. Here's what happens. Every time I do a video on you, which is going to be every fucking day for a week, the next week, every time I do a video, you're going to get mad. You're going to try to threaten me in some way with a sock account. I mean, at least the one thing I can say is that you used your actual Jonathan Lee Riches and investigates to try to send me a PayPal. But if you wanted me to be impressed, you could have said 100. If you wanted to actually intimidate me, you would try to show me that you have money or something, right? Or correct, information or anything. But here's the deal, buddy. You can do all the stuff that you're going to do to try to intimidate me and try to attack me. And I'm going to sit at my house and play video games and do my live streams and do my videos. And every time that YouTube and PayPal and Twitter respond to my reports, I'm going to write them back immediately. Are you feeling me? You got me, bro? I'm going to write them back immediately. I'm going to expedite this shit. With Molly and Letitia, it was a very, sporadic kind of thing. With you, it's going to be an immediate response. We're going to fast track this as much as possible. We're going to see if we can't get as many people to go to Team YouTube on Twitter and to put in their hands what you're up to, okay? I am personally, and I'm going to promise you this, JLR, I'm going to take every threat that you send at me. I'm going to take every piece of evidence, because that's what it is. Every piece of evidence that you throw at me, every time you try to fuck around, and it's all going to Team YouTube. You can kiss that channel of yours straight goodbye if you're going to dox and play these games, okay? And I've already initiated it with PayPal, okay? As soon as I get everything done with PayPal, it's going to Team YouTube. So you can, spend all your time, seething angry, seething mad, and I'll just spend my time chilling and doing my thing. But you're going to go, bro. You are going to go. Because I swear it's like you don't understand. You know what you're going to say, JLR? You're going to pull the same lie. I can already see it in my head. You're going to pull the same lie that you pulled last night with those people that bumped into you at the scene. You know what you're going to say? I wasn't doxing when I sent him $1 PayPal, put some random address in there and tried to name his ex-wife and stuff. That's not doxing. There's nothing illegal about that. Really? Well, I think the platforms are going to differ with you, buddy. I think that the platforms are going to differ in that. Because if you wanted to interview me, well, why would you put my assumed address? And God, man, it's so ironic that he puts Church Street. Ooh, Church Street. Man, it's almost like he's praying to God while he's trying to dox, right? Because, that's what they do. In fact, if these people were not the same people they've been, you can go back every year. Every year this motherfucker doxes somebody, attacks somebody, threatens people, stalks people, harasses people, knocks on the doors of people who have experienced tragedies, murders, and all this stuff in their life. Man, you already know you're rotten in hell. You know what I'm saying? You already know. There's no way for you to redeem yourself. You've added up so many things, dude. And you know what the crazy thing is? There's a part of you that does believe. I could just tell by looking at you. You did what I did when I was an atheist. Whenever I would have something happen when I was an atheist, I would default to praying. I would default to God. I would mention God, right? And I'm not getting religious with you. I'm making a factual observation. And the irony in you trying to dox me with Church Street. But, you know, whatever has to make you sleep better at night, buddy. Whatever makes you feel better. Every town has a church street. Yeah, it's like what is the most popular street names? Main. I think it's Main, Church, and High. High Street, Main Street, Church Street, right? No, what he's doing is trying to field that same intimidation. And you know, he's just like Betty. I guarantee Betty's in on it, you know? I guarantee you Betty's in on it. He's probably sitting there talking to Betty. They're getting angrier and angrier and angrier, madder and madder and madder. I would think he's probably sitting there rewatching my 3-hour live stream just over and over and over, you know, foaming at the mouth, sitting there talking to his little infant dolls that he bent over a fucking grave and kept zooming in on their private parts in the car. But by the way, I shared the link to that channel, y'all. If anybody wants to complain about the fact that I mentioned that, why don't you just go look and see if he did it, right? Well, I did put it on the screen, so you can't really say he didn't do it. But, you know, he thinks this is his... What he's showing me is that he is still the same guy. He is showing me that he is the same guy. You look at what he did last night, and you say, man, that dude, he is either like he's either reformed from what he was, and he's making a huge mistake last night, which, of course, that was debunked very quickly with his lies. But then you say to yourself, or he's the same psycho, and he's harassing families like he did back in Sandy Hook. You get me? So... there's nothing different. And whenever somebody makes him mad, whenever somebody makes Molly mad, whenever somebody makes Betty mad, this is what they do. And ironically, they're all friends. I ask myself if they all shared their tactics together, or if, you know, did they all get together and say to themselves, here's what we're going to do whenever somebody angers us, or what, you know, it's because it is a binding thing between these people, right? Either way, for those of you that just came in, let me start over, because I know that since this is a little mobile thing, and I'm doing it kind of while I popped out of bed for a minute to do it. They all share one brain cell. They really do, Jessica. They really do. I mean, it's a literal copy-paste. It's a copy-pasta of what happened to Betty, let me tell you. So, of course, I'm laying down. I'm going to bed, and I get a $1 PayPal. Now, typically, I wouldn't even look at it, right? Because I'm in bed, and I would wait till the morning. But I said, who would send me a $1 PayPal at this time of night? Now, sometimes people do send me a PayPal or a Cash App later on in the day or in the evening, which is perfectly fine, but it's never $1, right? So I went and said, I know what this is. I know what this is. And I clicked it, and lo and behold, Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. And he says something like, I would pull it up, but I can't. It's not like Twitter. YouTube streams aren't like Twitter, mobile streams, because my PC shut down, and no, I am not booting that up. It's not booting the PC. That takes 2 seconds because I have a solid-state drive. It's all the programs. It's scheduling, you know, the stream, the thumbnail, all that stuff. I'm not dealing with all that. Anyway, though, it says something to the effect of, hello, I'd like to interview you. And he uses the name of, like, an ex-wife of mine, right? Which is pretty hilarious from the start. And then he put something like, I'd like to interview at Church Street. And then he says some little quip about, please respond and let me know if you'd like, or something like that. Please respond and let me know about the interview request, right? So he's trying he's thinking in his head, I've got to say something that won't get me in trouble, that can't, be called doxing, and I have to try to work these things in, which is exactly what Betty did to Nonsense. Betty doxed Nonsense, leaves her a voicemail. It said, hey, and then used her name, which she said her name herself, Becky, but I won't say anything more Becky. And then Betty said she used an old address, like a 20-year-old address of Nonsense, and then threatened her at the end, right? So again, same concept, right? It's not intimidating, JLR. It's funny, right? It's cringy, and it's funny. It's not intimidating. It's pathetic, but the main thing here, and I want to make sure that he knows this, because it's going to be in his head when this is over in a few days or a week, when this is done. He's going to whine and cry about how he was censored. It's going to be a big plot of the government to censor him or some shit. No, bro, it is your actions. It's your actions. Also, I will be getting a hold of his PO. This is a fact. I will be calling the PO myself, and I will be asking why her client is permitted to be doing this, prolifically, and allowed to just, be in these other states, threatening these people. Hell, I might even, since I'm going for a restraining order against this other girl, I might even throw him in there. I don't know. It depends. All of those, if you get a RO or not, depends on your lawyer, what they tell you, kind of thing, right? But I will be getting a hold of his probation officer, because I've seen, unlike him, who goes around and tries to dig on private things on people and then try to use those things to intimidate others, even though he'd have a hard time picking up a 5-pound dumbbell with all the laxative that he constantly eats. And yes, that was in my stream from today, overdosing on purpose on laxatives. That's what he did. God knows why. I don't know why. I don't know what makes people demons. I don't know what makes them crazy, y'all. But just to cut to the chase, what this tells me is that he doesn't deserve a chance. He doesn't deserve any kind of... we can't relent when it comes to tagging Team YouTube. We can't relent when it comes to making sure that PayPal, YouTube, and his PO know what he's doing, what he's up to. Because again, this man is dangerous. He does dangerous things to people. And again, I'm all about redemption. It's one of the things I get criticized the most for on this platform by people that know me. I give people too many chances. I'll have a straight up dishonest troll reach out and want to come on my channel, and it'll piss off my viewers, and I'll do it, right? Because I'll say, if they lie, then that tells us everything we need to know about them. If they tell the truth, maybe we'll get some information or some content. But the point is, with JLR, he doesn't get that. He doesn't get a chance. Now, he wants to interview me. I'm just going to make sure that he's allowed to when I get a hold of his PO. Also, I'm going to ask his PO why this man is stalking me. Just so JLR knows, I am taken. I have a girlfriend. I am not a serial killer or anything like that. So there's no reason for you to be pining for me or anything. Are you holding your face off camera because of JL? No, I'm in my pajamas, bro. You don't want to see me like this. What are you talking about? I have my face on camera every time. No, I'm just using my phone to stream, and I'm sitting here. I'm barely dressed. You guys don't want to see that. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? You have to be smart when you're a live streamer. You know what I'm saying, Chris? Like, if I had my camera on, and I don't know, if I hold my phone down too low, you might see my boobie or something. You know what I mean? I don't want to have my boobie on stream right now. So, So just so that, you know, unless I want to go get fully dressed and all that, and then put on the stream and turn on the camera, you know. But I'm not holding it off camera. I'm using a camera filter. YouTube has these filters. I can change the filters too. I like the bubble filter, but I can't find it. I always use the bubble filter. Oh, I found it. I found it. Yeah, I'm in my jammies. So, document with local authorities that you're being threatened. I mean, I usually always just take it to my lawyer, and I will do that. If my lawyer believes that it should be given to authorities, then I will, obviously. But again, what we're dealing with now is I did a very critical video of JLR for a good reason. This wasn't something where I just attacked the man or whatever that he's going to make it up to be. See, he can't think logically. He's controlled by his emotions. His emotions are typically anger, but his anger is trumped by an enormous level of cowardice and fear. And no, I'm not insulting him. He knows this is true if he's listening, and I guarantee he is. So he tries to do everything behind the scenes. He tries to do everything in the most dishonest and cowering kind of way, right? It's just a normal thing that happens with these people. This is just normal. I don't know why they want to do this dance. They want to dance with me, right? I'm going to threaten him after I try to dox him. Then I'm going to see what he does in retaliation. I don't retaliate, JLR. What I do, just so you understand, is I logically look at the situation. If what you're doing is not, I don't consider myself. I'm just one person that floated by. You know nothing about me. And what I did was properly criticize you and present the issue with what you're doing to the audience with the proof of what you did last night, followed with a detailed, proven record of your public behavior to prove a point that I factually proved that you are a dangerous person. You are a dangerous person. And because of how dangerous you are, you can't be on these platforms lying to these people so that they will support you, so that you can trounce around the country stalking people, harassing people. I'll give a good example. Do you remember when I pulled, is that T-Spiracy? Hey! He trolled Sandy Hook victims. He's just gotten worse since then. T-Spiracy, I did this video today on it, a stream on it. This man is one of the most sickest individuals on the internet. Good. I mean, this man is sickening. And I have no clue how YouTube has allowed this man who did this to be a partner on their site. I mean, if he, you know, here's the thing. If I was him, I try to put myself in his shoes, not with what he's doing now. I imagine, what if I had gone down a different path in my life and I had a record like JLR's? Not just the actual record, but if I had the kind of public database, you know, archived record. Because the man has had people archiving everything he's done since what he did at Sandy Hook. This is what he doesn't realize. Everything he's done on the internet, he thinks he can just deny. He thinks he can just ignore. Or you know, he'll sit there and you'll notice, I bet you guys money that he won't come back and actually address anything that I showed. He won't explain why he cut the faces off of child, you know, cereal blanks and taped them on these infant female dolls, these baby female. He won't explain that. He won't explain why he was driving around to the victims of the parents of the Sandy Hook kids that were taken. He won't explain why he drove and followed them and stalked them around while recording with the faces of their murderer taped to these dolls' face. You know, the guilt that someone has to feel from even being, whatever made you out of your mind to the point where you did these things. I try to put myself in his shoes and I say, what would I do now if I'd made those kind of mistakes in the past? If I had done those kind of things, right? It's almost one of those things where the only way he would ever be able to address the things that he did was if he actually wasn't a coward. So he would have to have at least, he would have to have a lot of heart and dignity if he was to go to his channel and tell the people that follow him the truth about what he's done in the past, take accountability for it, right? And then apologize and say, I'm never going to do anything like this again. And if he did that, no one would care because he wouldn't be tragedy pimping anymore. Now, here's the issue, guys. Number one, as I mentioned, you can't be a coward and do that at the same time. You would have to overcome your cowardice. And again, he probably thinks I'm insulting him, and I'm not. I'm accurately describing him. I could actually describe him in a much, much, much worse manner, and it would be 100% accurate. But I won't. He would have to overcome the cowardice that he has in him that makes him lie to the people's faces, like he did in the clip I showed. He would have to overcome that cowardice to be able to actually take accountability for what he's done to these families and to these towns. You know, it's very, very hard to actually inflict fear and to actually inflict a feeling of danger in people, let alone large groups of people. What he did in Connecticut was hold a city ransom by going into this town when it was at its most vulnerable, when people were scared that other people were going to do what happened at Sandy Hook again. And he went and said, I want these people to think that I'm crazy, and I want them to think that there is a crazy guy in their town, and I want them to guard their kids and be scared because of my content. And here's the craziest part about this guy. He succeeded. He succeeded. Oh, no, it's okay. I'll go see my attorney tomorrow. You know, they're probably in bed. You know, they have to get up early, or they might be enjoying their evening. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. This will happen in the most, unlike these guys, the most professional, normal way. They won't, throw a cog into my day or into what I do, even the slightest. Even the slightest. This is part of what I do now, unfortunately. So you should get together with Burnt Toast. I would sometime. We'll have to see. I mean, we'll see what happens in the future. I'm always open to talking with other people or having them on. All they got to do is reach out if they want to come on my show. And I try to support people the best I can. That's how I make my decisions. But, right now I am busy. I'm going to be busy now for the next few days. On top of the fact I'm going to make content, making sure that everything JLR has done is in a documentary fashion, archived to YouTube, and make sure that from now on, people will know who this man is that hangs out with Bullhorn Betty and that does these things. But here's the funny part. When is one of these people, these tragedy pimps, these people, when are one of these people actually going to pass the test and not threaten and not dox, right? When is that going to happen? When are they going to respond back and say, you know what, based on what I've done in the past, I deserve criticism, but I'm still on YouTube, I'm still on Twitter, I still have a reputation with PayPal, and I don't want to lose that. So I'm not going to threaten someone who has been a YouTube partner since 2015. I'm not going to threaten someone who has had channels with significant amount of subscribers and had been a YouTube partner and tested YouTube beta programs and done all the things I've done for YouTube. I'm not going to threaten that person because I want to keep my channel. Because it's a little bit different when you threaten me than if you're just talking shit on your channel. Or if you do a live stream and do what Betty did, where she just, talked shit about me. It's a little different than, him trying to play his doxing games with me. But I just want him to know he's already been reported to PayPal. I don't think anything will happen for a few days. But if PayPal misses my report, because it does happen, I'm going to make sure I file a report as much as I have to so that this man can't use PayPal to try to intimidate people anymore. Right? You know what this means? What he's shown me is that he does this kind of thing to anyone that upsets him. We now know why he did what he did to that man who walked up to him and said, dude, you're terrorizing our neighborhood. Get out. Right? Get out of the neighborhood. Leave us alone. You lied about me on your channel, which he did. I showed proof of that. And he didn't, you know what the thing is, JLR wasn't even man enough to look the guy in the eyes and say, I did accuse you of domestically targeting your neighbor while she's missing and there is a national kind of search for her. And JLR couldn't even tell the man the truth. He couldn't even admit the truth to the man. He couldn't even say, you know what, I'll edit my post, I'll take it down, I'll post a new post and let people know that the court order she tried to file was thrown out. Therefore, that court order being thrown out had no basis. I either, if I'm going to mention it, must mention that it was thrown out, or I could just not mention it at all because it doesn't mean anything to the case. With people like JLR, every little thing they find needs to be exploited and become mysterious, or he can't make money. Literally can't make money. And that's what's sad about this. But JLR, bro, look, you're late to the party. Molly, you should have just got a hold of Molly. Should have just got a hold of Betty. Should have just, got a hold of like any of the other people that have been mad at me in the last year. You could have got a hold of all the people who ran fraud raisers that I busted. You could have got a hold of all the people that I debunked. Because I don't know if you even remember who I am, bro, but you have tangled with me before, JLR. You don't remember? Oh, let me refresh your memory because I forgot to mention it in my video today. I did mention that I had to debunk you in the past. But you don't remember threatening and attacking my friends that I debunked conspiracies with, do you? You don't remember that? Oh, wow. What happened to your memory, dude? Dead GPK says we destroyed him long ago, lol. He doesn't even remember, Dead. He doesn't even remember. Something's wrong with this dude's... Oh, hold on. Someone else remembers. Oh, it's Dead. Dead remembers. I remember too, Dead. And, the main thing here is that when you... And I just want JLR to know this. When you dox a random civilian and you go at them, they have zero knowledge of internet laws and privacy laws and how privacy rights, privacy laws affect the internet. They have no knowledge of what acceptable internet behavior in regards to trying to look up somebody's privacy, invade their privacy, and what isn't. And they have no clue how they go about filing what you've done to a proper authority. A lot of times they'll call their local police department, right? And The local PD will tell them that's an internet issue. That's a person in another state. You're going to have to contact the FBI. And so those people end up never being able to turn you into YouTube because it becomes a very complex thing for them. Right? JLR? Right? Well, I want to give you a little clue here. I'm going to give you a little hint to see if you think I'm bluffing or if I'm telling the truth with what I'm about to say, okay? The proper thing to do when someone doxes you through PayPal or YouTube is to actually contact your lawyer and then contact the platforms that were used to do this. Now, I'll tell you why, buddy. Because, yeah, it might be a little bit hard to get a hold of a proper authority so that a report can be filed against what you've done in violating the privacy and in threatening the people that you message, right? Especially with the language you try to use to protect yourself. But if you look at terms of service, buddy, you'll notice that terms of service is way different than law. I would actually say that the terms of service for the platforms that you're using to stalk and harass people and threaten and dox people, I would call their rules extremely strict compared to the law that protects somebody, because those platforms don't have to respect your rights, because they only have to concern with a rule set that they create on their platform, because they have the ultimate say on their own platform that they created. And if you want to use their platform, you must look at that rule set, understand it, if you're going to use those. How do you say? Services, that's the best way to say it. So, I don't have to fucking play games with you that I know are going to take months when you've already handed me a threat and a dox attempt, even though wrong, but still a dox attempt that violates the platform. Now, here's the interesting thing about violating PayPal's terms of service. And by the way, JLR, I just read them, because when I filed the report, I had to read it. You can just skip all that shit. You know what the key is to protecting yourself? You don't skip it, you read it. But I already reported you. You'll probably find out about it in a few days. But here's the secret, buddy. When that report goes through, I can, in the morning, pull that report. And then I can go into my partnership at YouTube, and I can directly contact YouTube and give them the evidence of what you've done. And I will. Okay? Because you just threatened me on PayPal with $1. You couldn't even do $5. Like, most people will be like, I don't want to look like a cheap ass. My threats at least have to have $5 behind them. I'm not a stand-up guy. I just have used these platforms for I hope I'm a stand-up guy now, right? I've been an asshole. I've been cocky in the past. I made lots of mistakes. But I think that the way it sits now, I mind my business. I speak to the law. I speak to respect to the people I talk about and myself, to my rights. And I give my opinion. Yeah, I have a harsh opinion when it comes to people that target children that died. I got a harsh opinion. I think everybody does. Except JLR and Betty. That's the weird thing there. I don't think they have one. I think that they don't care about the kids. Because why else? I mean, what did I do that was wrong in the video that I made against JLR? And what I mean is, if he had a problem with my content, he would say, I'm going to respond and I'm going to show that he's wrong about me and I'm going to correct him and own him. Well, he knows he can't do that. Everything I showed was factual. The argument I made was well prepared. It might not have been perfectly delivered because I did it live. But if I would have edited that argument, it would have been cut down and perfectly delivered. I think you guys could see that if you watch my live stream. If I edited that live stream, I'd probably cut out about 2 hours from it, 2 hours and 15 minutes, where maybe I go back to the same thing, where I'm like reading the chat, you know, the things that don't matter. I could edit that argument down to about 45 minutes of just a perfect argument to show that he is dangerous, that he is a liar, he's not what he says he is, he's not a reporter, right? His reputation is not what he tries to pretend that it is. He's the kind of guy that makes you question what should happen to someone who does the things that this man has done, but yet refuses to stop violating people's privacy and lying about people on the internet. Should he be banned? Should he not be banned? Those thoughts have to go through your mind when you're covering what he does. Now, when you see that he's doxed the people who stood up to him, when you see how he has done when he uses his platform to try and intimidate and embarrass because he's too, you know, and seeing that he tried to intimidate and embarrass the man that he confronted, that he ran from like a coward. You know what? Now that I think about it, he's probably really mad at me. I probably hurt the guy's feelings. I mean, shit, he can't even stand up for himself. How am I going to expect him to actually not threaten me with a $1 PayPal donation? I mean, come on, dude. Uni, you're out of your mind here, right? All right, let me scroll the chat, and then I'm going to get out of here. Because I didn't even plan to do this. I took my medicine. I have to lay down when I take my medicine, or I get a little bit woozy. So I'm going to have to get out of here. Hey, Jen. Hey, Crispy. Hey, I know a lot of you guys usually come in when I stream in the evening, and I've been streaming earlier lately, so I haven't seen any of you. Is Kathy in here? So glad you document as well as you do. Oh, I archive everything. See, I learned that 2 years into my YouTube endeavors, which would have been around 2017. End of 2016, going into 2017, I learned that there are people out there who, if you document, if you archive everything they do, they won't be able to hold an unfair power over you, because their gaslighting and them darvoing the situation is the only thing they have. And there is one thing that completely destroys darvo, and it completely destroys gaslighting, and that is archiving the truth. Right? Archiving the truth. The last thing JLR ever wanted was people to know that that's him. And now that he knows, he realizes he's in a bad situation, because he knows that it's my job to make a history of things that happen. Now, they're trying to just give me too much work, y'all. I still have to do Molly's party. I'm working on that. And I'm going to have to decide on whether I finish it or whether I abandon it so that I can get some of this JLR stuff done. But you know what? I just want to make sure JLR knows. I don't care how much you threaten me. I am not intimidated by bullies like you. You're an embarrassment. It's why you act like you do. You're a coward. You can't even look face to face the people that you lie on and defend yourself. You run off, piss your pants, do the stanky leg to try to get the pee off your socks, and then you try to dox them on your platform. You're nothing. You are nothing. Who do you think you are? A world famous YouTuber? I don't even think that. I've been here longer than you. I've been doing this better than you for longer. And I don't even think that about my damn self. So who the hell are you to think you're anything? Wow. You want to talk about a delusion of grandeur. This is a delusion of universal grandeur. This is like fucking Big Bang level grandeur. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if anyone just came in, JLR pulled a Molly voicemail on me. You don't ignore these tragedy pimps. You commentate, you record it all. That's right. That's right. People are starting to figure out my content. They're starting to figure out that even a brief history of the worst things that they are doing will forever take the power away from them to gaslight, to lie, and to pretend that they didn't do those things. Because it's all they got. That's all they got. Did they really think that eventually YouTube wouldn't come for them, though? If all they did was sit in the true crime community, excuse me. I ate a little din recently. Did they really think that YouTube wouldn't eventually come and look into them if they kept doxing and doxing and doxing in the true crime community? Threatening people, doxing, getting more brazen, getting more brazen, getting more brazen. It's not a voicemail. What I mean is, okay, he sent me a $1 PayPal, and in it, he tried to bring up a family member of mine. He tried to bring up an address, which is just, probably him doxing some other dude named Jason Smith or something. And he tried to basically act like at the end he was asking for an interview. So he was implying, I know where you live, even though he doesn't. He was wrong. And he was implying that it was kind of a threat because, look, I know who your family member is. Haha, I'm going to get your family member. Now, he didn't say he was going to get him. He implied, so, he doing what he does, right? No, Jen, I've said it a million times. I never expect you guys to stay inside the stream if I'm addressing something that bothers you. That's why I try to skip really severe content. But today I couldn't, I just couldn't today. When I saw him, I've been warning JLR for a minute here. I've already done a few streams where I talk about things he's done as kind of like a way to say, look, dude, go mind your business, do your content without doxing and harassing people, and nobody's going to bother you. You can make all the money you want. You can get away from your past. He's the one who can't stop doxing. He's the one that can't stop digging and getting obsessed with anyone that hurts his ego. You hurt his ego, he's going to dig on you, right? So he's told me, I'm calling his PO. Oh yeah, you don't fucking play that shit with me and then think I'm not going to. I'm fucking calling his PO. I'm not playing this game with him. I don't have time for this. JLR, I thought you were media. I've never seen media act like this before, dude. Damn, dude. It's almost like you're not a reporter and you're not the media and everything I said about you is absolutely true. It's almost like you just confirmed everything that came out of my mouth, isn't it? Oh, shit, son. Molly was so excited that JLR was going to go after you. She was like a kid on Christmas. Oh, I know, Menace. Well, Crispy, that's okay. We love you too. We love it when you're here. And I know I've been streaming at all kinds of different times, so it's my fault, but it does make, that is one good thing that comes from all of this. I get to see some of you guys that are in here in the later streams, and I haven't seen you in a while. But it's getting nicer out, So there's a lot more that we got to do. There's a lot more that has to happen in springtime. Once the summer rounds out, it'll be all right then. It'll be too hot. You know what I'm saying? It'd be way too hot out and everybody's going to be, I don't want to, like at first everybody's like, all I want to do is be outside. And then as soon as the heat kicks up, it's too hot. I want to stay inside. I don't want to do anything today. It'll be about a week or two. I don't know. Well, Southern Comfort, back when it first started, it was called QAnon on the boards. And what I did was actually, I had been doing series where, because it actually, one of the things that started was the Shia LaBeouf stuff. And if you've never heard that story, it is one of the best internet stories out there. I'm actually thinking about re-uploading my video on it. But I would go to the boards and I would do like a little documentary style video showing how things happened. And it's, Shia was playing Capture the Flag with 4chan. It was one of the coolest things ever. Not for Shia, but story-wise. So when QAnon kind of popped off and started to do its thing, and when these other kinds of things happened, what we did is basically identify how it formed. We put together the origin story of this group. And it pissed them off very bad. So yeah, they came after us. They tried to dox us. They tried to, attack us. They sent me death threats constantly, I really do think one of the people that messaged me on Discord is a bot, because they've sent me like 20,000 messages in 5 years. Like, I'm not joking. I showed some people and they're like, what the fuck? But actually, I just uploaded a video. What happened was a couple research teams have went in and attempted to analyze the internet to prove what really happened with QAnon, and what they ended up doing was confirming that I was right the whole time. And I did a very short video about that. It's on Rockalot. It's kind of an early Rockalot video, so it is an upload. It's not a live stream. Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys. Okay, make sure you hit the like button for me, and let me just summarize things real quick. JLR, you sent me a message. So what I did was report you to PayPal for doxing, intimidating, harassing, and stalking using their platform. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to continue the report, and I'm not going to stop until I make sure that they give me a response. They're going to tell me what they're going to do about this before I stop, just like I've done in the past. Now, I'm also going to take your threats and send them over to the other platforms. I'm going to tag team YouTube again about what you're doing. I'm going to make a packet on your recent doxings and what you've done, showing that it is a complete malicious pattern, that any person on the internet that talks about you will end up getting targeted, harassed, intimidated, and threatened. Your friends have done this to me in the past. Wait, who was it? Was it Betty or Molly? Oh, it was Molly. G. Williker, Batman. And I sent in all the things Molly did to me, to YouTube, exactly how I'm going to do it to you. And the reason that I haven't sent much in on Betty is because Betty either is being very secretive about doxing me and coming after me and only saying a few things here and there, knowing, maybe having a feeling that it is a really bad idea to dox people who have contact and know how to message YouTube. But what's funny is, you, on the other hand, don't have the restraint that Molly does. But I know one thing, JLR, you watched my video. What'd you think about it? What'd you think about it? Did you like it? Did you like that shit? I'm telling you now, my family doesn't fuck around, buddy. I know you might have found out some stuff about my family. Well, if you did, you would know that they don't fuck around. You know what I'm talking about. You've already found out what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, high level, government. You know. I don't know why you guys haven't put it together yet. Either way, I'm gonna dip out of here. Oh, I'm gonna stop him. I have to stop him. Because he has shown me now what Molly showed me. You remember when Molly went to, I don't know if it was her main channel or if it was her backup channel because she deleted it so freaking fast. But what she did was get up there and scream and flip out and tell everybody to go after me and find everything out about Jason, right? Find everything out you can about Jason and get him, right? I always give people a fucking warning. Yes, I always tell them, listen, I'll let you redeem yourself. I'll let you fucking stay on the platform. I won't fucking report you. Like, he deserves to be banned as of yesterday. I didn't report him. I tag team YouTube with his docs, but he has to expect that. But I didn't fucking get a hold of YouTube directly or anything on his ass. And I feel guilty about that. I was just talking to some people that I really respect about how I felt bad because maybe I should get a hold of YouTube sooner when I see somebody like Molly, Betty, and JLR, right? And, you know, of course, I was assured, no, because you're doing the right thing by making sure that they're doing this to people. I don't give a shit that he did this to me. I care that if I just ignore it, he's not going to do any damage to me, just like Betty didn't, just like Molly didn't, just like none of the people before them did. What he's going to do, though, is end up like this man. If you anger him, he immediately tries to threaten your family members. He's proven this to me. He immediately does. Just right away, bam. And then the messed up thing is if somebody asked him, he'd probably say, no, I didn't. I was just asking him if he wanted to do an interview on my channel. And then if someone said to him, well, then why did you put like some addresses in there and shit and people's names in there and shit? That has nothing to do with interviewing him. Has nothing to do with anything that was going on, right? It's completely irrelevant. You put a bunch of irrelevant information into an interview request. See, they think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. No, they really do. They have something wrong with them that makes them think everybody else is stupid and they're the smartest people in the world. It's called narcissism. But they think that when they put that stuff in their shit, that we're just going to be like, oh, he doesn't mean anything by that. You know, I bet Betty really did want to talk to Nonsense and have a great, polite, awesome conversation and befriend her, huh? That's why she left a threatening voicemail. And I bet JLR really did just want to have a nice conversation with me and work things out. That's why he sent a threatening PayPal to me, right? But I bet you if he could have got my phone number and called, he probably would have, wouldn't he? That's true, Smokey, yeah. Cut, paste, rinse, wash, repeat. It's their motto, says Grace. Yes. I mean, damn, how many people has he threatened and lied to involving threats and defamation? Or how many people has he went and tried to play this kind of doxing game with, is what I'm saying, in the last 3 days? 5? This man's prolific. You know, he is a prolific terms of service violator. He can violate terms of service, go around stalking people. That's between him and his probation officer, right? Him stalking people on the internet should be between him and whoever the fuck is supposed to be watching his ass due to the things he's done in the past. That is factual. And so anyone that gets threatened from him needs to go directly to his PO and let them know. But when it comes to him violating TOS over and over and over, guess what? I don't care. I do care, though, when he does it through doxing and threatening people. You know, like if he uploads content that violates TOS, it's on YouTube to fix that shit. But if his violations actually involve him stalking, defaming, threatening, digging on people's lives, like he is an adult male that for some reason has become extremely obsessed with another adult male because I talked about the things that he's publicly done in the last, while. That's not normal. Well, I don't know if that's just what we're in. I mean, I tried to tell you guys I was going to document everything that these tragedy pimps do. That was my goal. I didn't come in here to save anyone from the tragedy pimps. I didn't come in here to get them banned. I didn't come in here to make sure that Team YouTube looks at them. Now, I ended up promising that I would have Team YouTube look at specific ones due to the fact that they're doxing. Non-stop. He has no defense. It's so hypocritical. Just think about it for a second. The man stood on a street last night. This is last night. I don't even know if it's been 24 hours yet. And he stood by a police officer begging the officer to protect him, begging the people talking to him not to hurt him and everything, right? And used free speech as a way to continue doing what he was doing. But for some reason, he thinks that if someone speaks on him, like he's speaking on all these people, and he gets mad because these people come out of their home, walk up to him and say, dude, you're lying on me, you're defaming me, you're messing with us, and we're dealing with someone who died right now that we knew. We're mourning. We got important things we're worrying about, or else we would pursue you. We would pursue suing you. We would pursue doing something. But we're dealing with the tragedy, right? And he's now he's going against the thing that he used as a defense last night to try to threaten YouTubers that talk about him. Because it doesn't matter that he came after me. It's just an example. One of you guys make a video on it. Well, didn't he go after Dietz? Didn't he go after Dietz? Because I almost forgot about that. Because we were really busy around that time. Someone in the chat tell me, didn't he go after Dietz on the streets? Do I? Can't see that because it's not a removal. It's a deletion? I don't know. I can't really see anything here. He violated the privacy of a random citizen, the neighbor, with that public post. Very much, Manda, yes. Very much. I completely agree. Yes, and he did go after Dietz on the streets because she did a video that was factual, fair. She didn't even do what I did. I made fun of him and poked at him. Whenever I saw him doing something messed up to one of those innocent people, I would take a poke at him. I would make a comment that would exercise his hypocrisy. So, he has gone after everyone, Grace. There is no doubt. Do you realize how fast? Like, he's supposed to be out doing real stuff. He doesn't. How in the world is he obsessively threatening people and defaming people and doxing people if he's out working? So what he's told us is, at first he says, I'm media. I'm a reporter. I want to be that. I don't care about my past. I want to do this. We said, but you're like doxing and threatening. He comes back, no, I'm not. So we talk about him. He's not happy about it. So he starts prolifically doxing and threatening. He has told us, I can't remain on these platforms or other people are going to constantly be doxed and harassed. That's what he's told us. It's a message. He thought he was intimidating us with his message. He knows nothing else, guys. He honestly he's an NPC. This man is programmed to think in one way Basically, it's like this. If anyone says something that might affect my pocketbook, my ability to scam the people who I'm scamming and lying on and defaming and LARPing on, I'm going to threaten them in the same way every time. Right? Well, exactly. It just shows how much of liars they are. Because if they're going to say they don't dox, they dox poorly is what they do. They poorly dox. You know? They're not even good at it. They're not even good at trolling. They're not even good at reporting. They're not good at doxing. They're not good at anything. They're not even good at cutting out people's faces and putting them on fucking infant dolls and going around and doing gross ass things to the dolls. They're not even good at that. Hey, Kathy. They're so stupid. They can't believe you don't have any dirt in your history. And the dirt that you do have, you've already owned it. And so they keep trying to look for more dirt. There is none. I mean, shit, I've told you, my whole past was doxed by the Q guys. They had everything. It's all out there. All of my traffic tickets. All of my horrible driving. Right? It's all out there. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Here's the deal. JLR feels owned by his past. It's why he's obsessed with everyone else's. He's hurt. He feels he can't get away from his past. And if that man would actually get therapy, actually repent on the things he's done in the past, try in his best possible ability to make up for what he did at Sandy Hook, it wouldn't follow him like this. It wouldn't haunt him like this. He's haunted by this. He proved it tonight. You know? You ever met, what's his name? See, I don't even remember the guy's name now. Chad Lilly. You ever met him? Poor guy. He is a real person. That's the shame in this. That's not, you know, not, okay, shame's the bad word. The sad part of this, that's the sad part of this, that there are real people that are, I'm innocent, for God's sakes. What did I do? Did I do anything wrong? No. Did I lie on him? No. I thought dude said that he's told people for fucking weeks in every confrontation and situation. Wow. Let me see if I can turn on my little fuzzy things again. My little filtery things here. Wow. I can't believe it, dude. Yep, I'm live. Oh, okay. Nice. Hey, I'm dumb. Y'all, I'm a stupid dude. I didn't pay attention to my phone battery. Can we see your SpongeBob PJs? Not right now, Wicked. I'll wear them on stream soon. I will wear them on stream soon. Deets documentary, I've shouted it out like 4 times in this stream alone. So let me find it. Actually, I will share it right now. And yes, it was great because it was done in such a concise, really good way. Right here. All right. I had to start up my PC because I wanted to try to end this stream. And I thought I'd have to log into my PC to end the stream because my phone battery died. But when I opened up the YouTube app, it let me reconnect. Let me create a post. So since JLR is threatening me and my family now, it's a good time to share Deets documentary. It goes over why he's such a dangerous person. My mobile live stream discusses how JLR threatened us and what I think about it and what I'm doing about it. And just to make sure you guys know, let me take off my headset here. Just so you guys know, because I'm going to end this really quick, is what he wants, what JLR wants. I'm doing a documentary of my own on him. It will be nothing to replace or not or take the place of anyone else's. Hold on, let me type, I'm coming in right after I end this ending now. Be 1 sec. Okay. It'll just be my own take of what I think is the important timeline of what he's done, and I'm not going to focus on his frivolous cases and stuff. I think Dietz did a freaking banger job doing that. And that's not all that Dietz did. Just so that everybody knows. That is not all that, definitely. Housekeeping, yeah, absolutely. But that's not all. I mean, look, the Sandy Hook thing wasn't even the beginning with this guy. And that was when? Like, what year? That was 2013? Or that was 2012. I'm sorry, 2012. It was December of 2012. So there you go. That's why I probably thought it was 2013. But he's been doing this stuff since before then, and it's just, his PO has told other callers that he isn't breaking the law. Oh, I'm going to give his PO his threats against us, and show his PO what he is up to. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know God knows if they'll do anything. I mean, some POs are just lazy and don't want to do their job. Others are really good. It just depends. You got to roll the dice, I guess. You should make a doll with his face on it. That would be funny. That would be funny. But see, that's what I mean. That's what he wants. He wants me to respond to him in a YouTube fashion. He wants a battle. He's not going to get a battle from me. I'm going to just do my content, and every dumb thing that he does like this, I'm going to just catalog and do what I got to do with it. God knows what'll happen, but I will make sure, though, whether he thinks he's breaking the law or not, I'm going to tell you guys one thing. He hasn't been thinking about this properly. Like this, he really hasn't. If he has any real people around him that give him any advice that could tell him, like, this is what is going on, they would be telling him, you are breaking YouTube's terms of service with the way that you're going after people and grabbing their private information and then sharing it like you are. Also, the people who he has filmed in those neighborhoods, they obviously didn't want to be on YouTube, and he was recording them. They may not know it, but they have a right to file with YouTube so that they aren't on his content. They have a right for that. So all the people that JLR record, because that's his main way of doing things, they need to just get a hold of YouTube after he records them and file privacy strikes and demand to be taken out of that video. It is a big game for him, but it's also his money. Like, this dude, he doesn't feel lucky that he gained those subs. He does not feel lucky. He doesn't feel lucky that with his past, with the things he's done to families of these children, he doesn't think that he's lucky to have an audience that sends him tips and money. He's very lucky. He's very lucky. Yeah, there's no morals in him. There's no humanity in the man. That was, you saw him last night. These people are literally like, man, you're in our neighborhood, our property. We have rights here. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's the same kind of person that he goes places and then they end up changing laws. And it sucks because, it really is bad when people do this kind of stuff. It really does end up affecting everyone else's rights in a negative way. Like that military saying, one dude can screw it up for everybody. Very true, our top. Okay, guys, I don't want to keep you any longer. I've already taken my nighttime medicine. I have to be laying down or I'm going to get sick and dizzy. So I do need to go. I apologize. I had to run in here and try to turn on my studio because I wanted to make sure I could either reconnect or shut down the live stream. But thankfully, YouTube actually reprogrammed their mobile live app, and it's working really good. Like, I'm very impressed by it. Very true, Crispy. But that's the thing. I just want to make sure everybody knows. JLR, this doesn't apply to him because, of course, it's too late for him. He's too old. He's too far gone. He's too down the route. He's too down the spiral, right? But anyone who has any kind of bad record, they don't need to be ashamed if they've changed. But the only one way to change, and it's just the truth. I'm not preaching. I'm not, trying to, I don't know. I'm just trying to state what is the obvious truth. In order to change, you have to stop doing what you're doing because of a long realization. A deep thought process where you realize what you're doing is wrong and you stop doing that anymore. We all end up figuring that out at some point. And we end up failing and then having to do it again and failing and doing it again. Nobody's perfect. Though, for someone to be this haunted and childish, like him, it's a really good example of why we shouldn't allow ourselves to go down the spiral. And if we have family members that are going down the spiral, we should try to, inform them and let them know, like, yo, it's never too late. It's never too late to change your life. Unless you go crazy due to what you're doing, it's never too late. You don't ever want to lose your mind going down the spiral, y'all, because you will JLR your ass into a hole. I got to go to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Please go to my Twitter account, and you're going to have to scroll down a little bit. I'm going to need everybody, after what JLR just did, we're going to have to make sure that we tag team YouTube and get them more proof of what he's been doing. Every time he threatens me, every time he threatens my family, every time he doxes somebody, we're going to tag team YouTube until this is handled. See you soon. Oh, and thank you.